Hi everybody, it's day 3 of the way to the cross, or the stations of the cross, and we're here in the forest. I'm doing my one form of exercise away from the house a day. First we started with Jesus praying in the Garden of Gethsemane, and then we had Judas who betrayed him, and then today we've got Jesus who's being dragged in front of the Sahedrin, the really high priests, the people who think they're very religious, but really they don't understand Jesus and they didn't really understand who he was. So let's have a read of that. So we're going to read Mark, it's chapter 14 still, and it's from 53, and it will be to 64. Or 60, yeah, 64. I brought my little travel Bible with me today. So they took Jesus to the high priest, and all the chief priests and the elders and the teachers of the law came together. Peter followed him at a distance, right into the courtyard of the high priest. There he sat with the guards and warmed himself at the fire. The chief priests and the whole Sahedrin were looking for evidence against Jesus so they could put him to death. But they did not find any. Many testified falsely against him, but the statements did not agree. Then some stood up and gave this false testimony against him. We heard him say, "I will destroy this temple made with human hands, and in 3 days will build another made not with hands." Yet even then their testimony did not agree. Then the high priest stood up before them and asked Jesus, "Are you not going to answer? What is this testimony that these men are bringing against you?" But Jesus remained silent and gave no answer. Again the high priest asked him, "Are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One?" Jesus replied, "I am. And you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven." The high priest tore his clothes. "Why do we need any more witnesses?" he asked. "You have heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" They all condemned him as worthy of death. When thinking about this, it comes evident that they'd made their mind up before the actual court case, and it wasn't even a legal court case because they didn't have the right people there, and it was at night as well. So they'd made their minds up to kill him. But the key thing is that when they ask him a clear question, "Are you the Messiah?" Jesus says, "I am." He doesn't hold it back then, he says, "I am." And he also identifies with the prophecy in Daniel where he says, "You will see me coming on the clouds of heaven, like seated next to the Mighty One," saying basically that he was divine. This is why they tore the clothes. But if they'd believed him, if he was telling the truth, which he was, then this is not an untruth he's telling. Anyway, once you find that out, I think you really need to make a decision, because if Jesus was telling the truth, then there's only 2 ways to go. We're asked to go either the way of the world or the way of Jesus. And Jesus' way is a path, it's clear. But it's so hard to take, isn't it? On one side of this river, we've got all these thistles and thorn bushes, and you just cannot climb up there. I've tried to run through it. Shall I show you what it looks like? There's a Howden estate up there. It's impossible to try and work your way through there. And on the other side, there's quite a clear bank, and there's a path that leads you home. And that's what Jesus is saying. He's saying, if you follow him, you can follow the path and you can follow your way home. So instead of spending 2 hours scrolling your way through Facebook with all the videos and things like that, and I've done that more than anyone, why not spend some time devoting to reading the Bible, reading the journey of Jesus, the way of the cross, praying, or sending messages of hope out to people all over the place that are really isolated, that are really hard up. Perhaps go around and give them some food that they need. Ask them, do they need anything? And do some good. Thank you.